some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah, hope I get away with it. Oh, doo-dah, day.
Hi there, folks. I'm Dan Hollifield. Welcome to Last Man Standing. As you may have noticed, there is no stupid o'clock tonight. Joe Dog is still under the weather. I'm sorry. Aunt Donna won't be here tonight. Her back was hurting, so she went to bed early. Joe Botman will be here shortly. Bladed Thesis had a great show earlier tonight, the Tea Room. He does those just about every Saturday night at 7:30 Eastern Time, PM, that is. And it was very, very interesting, as is all his shows. Yep, and he is actually working on a full-length version of the snippet of a song that he wrote for Foxy's advert that you see on all of the most of the independent creator channels. It will be fine, and I am looking forward to hearing the full-length version. As for me, I did a lot of heavy lifting today. And as promised, Mr. Joe Bachman is with us. Yep, I had bought 9 18 by 18 inch paving slabs the other day and got them unloaded out of the back of the pickup truck and toted them over to where they're supposed to go in the yard and found out I did not take a tape measure to the little shed that's supposed to sit on top of it. I'm going to need to go back and buy 3 more paving slabs.
Oh.
Yeah. And I'm going to have to level them up just a little bit better. It was a nice day. Sun was shining. It was warm. So I wanted to get out there and get that stuff toted before anything untoward weather-wise would happen.
Mhm.
And I got that done and unpacked the
Ooh.
box with the brand new trash cans that are going inside the fence. We've got several outside the fence, but um, I need one to throw stuff away out there, and we need a spare in case it's, you know, gloomy weather or something, so Lindsay doesn't have to walk all the way around from the front porch to the outside the fence trash cans.
Yeah.
So, it was pretty. I didn't even have to do any assembly except snap the lids on.
Mhm.
Uh, so I'm kind of happy about that. Uh, got a lot of stuff moved around out of the way in the barbecue pergola, and I'm going to have to move the charcoal grill a little bit. And since it's basically a stack of concrete breeze blocks, that's going to be a
Mhm.
little bit more heavy lifting, but I don't mind at all. Um, it's not like I haven't toted rocks before.
Mhm.
Uh,
Oh. Yeah, I lost track of time. I looked at my phone and went, "Oh, LMS is live." Shit, LMS is live.
well, Stupid O'Clock would have been live now, but as I said, Joe Dog is still under the weather. So I got his message early enough today to where I could go in and reschedule it for Thursday evening.
Hmm.
And then I realized that I had to schedule LMS tonight. So that took me a minute. I'm still not used to that permanent studio.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different, but once I get the hang of the process, it'll be fine. Um, oh, I got my Ulu knife today. The Alaskan cookware knife,
Oh, okay.
the crescent shaped blade with a. I'm going to be uh, taking as a decent a photograph of it as I can and use it as part of the opening for the cooking show.
Okay.
So, matter of fact, just before it was time to go live, I was over on my Bandcamp going, "How short of a piece of music have I got?" There's Thesis in the chat. How you doing, Thesis?
Hey, thesis.
Hope you ate well and drank a lot of tea to soothe your throat.
Hmm.
Uh, excellent show tonight. Matter of fact, I said something about that earlier before Joe showed up. So uh, I enjoyed it immensely, as I always do.
No, it was a good show tonight. It was a very good show. But he always has good shows. So
Yeah, I was bragging on you. Oh boy. Now the trick is going to be making myself go to bed early enough so I can get up early tomorrow and take full advantage of the sunlight. And Joe Dog, he just wanted to look and see if I actually managed to get here on time or if I went to sleep. Rolling back over and pulling the big rock back on top of me. I mentioned that's what it feels like. Uh, well, Lindsay's not quite recovered from what she had. Oh, Thesis, you're here too. I didn't. After you did 90 minutes of a show, I didn't expect your voice to hold out.
Well, I got my tea and I got my throat is nice and moist right now, so I'm doing all right. I'm doing good.
Good. Keep your hydration handy.
Yeah.
hmm.
Ah, oh,
Having things be moist is a good thing most of the time.
Most of the time, yeah, it really is.
I need to have a permanent, not the green room lower logo.
Why, whatever do you mean, Dan? We're all perfectly innocent here.
Speak for yourself. I enjoy not being innocent anymore. Of course, I'm not guilty of anything either, but there's
That
that
would
gray
make proof.
area in between. There's that gradient in between. Oh.
Speaking of gradients, I need to get a hold of Nick, see how he's feeling,
Yes, please do.
and see if he's going to be feeling up to doing a show on Monday. And if not, I'm going to create some backgrounds for him.
Oh, you mean the artwork?
Yep.
That will be interesting.
It'll be
Although I
very
know-
interesting because we all know my ability to do something other than gradients, and that's basically non-existent.
Hey,
I could
You
probably
get
throw
to-
something together pretty quick if you needed me to, but
he does have a DeviantArt page.
Yeah, I may take you up on that offer. That, or I may just, because if I hadn't had all the issues come up with work, I actually was gonna do an art time
Oh, nice.
on Wednesday,
Okay.
but because of all the issues that had come up, I didn't. I needed to get out to the job site.
Yeah.
So, but I was gonna actually try and do actual art that didn't involve gradients. And the thing is, I don't have the fancy little drawing pad or anything that Rich or Nick does.
Nope.
It was all going to be keyboard and mouse using GIMP.
Well, if you'd gone to Kroger a couple of years ago, low camera focus on it, you could have got you one of these, which is a pin shaped like a mouse.
I used to have one of those.
Or a mouse shaped like a pin. I said it backwards, but
my mom actually got me one of those a few years ago.
they are difficult to get used to.
Yeah. They were difficult to get used to, but once you got used to it, it wasn't a bad little device.
No. If I can put it back here where it doesn't get knocked over by my arm waving.
Yeah, I used to use it in my car.
All right.
Yeah, it has a little a little bitty YouTube thing. USB goes in a USB port on your computer, and they link up as soon as you turn it on. The trick is, if you don't use it for a while, it's safest to pull the battery out so it doesn't burst and ruin the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like anything. I've got a very nice little pencil flashlight that I didn't think to check the batteries in, and now I can't get one end of it off, so I'm assuming the worst, and I'll just have to buy another one when I see them. Of course, I got all kinds of flashlights. I've even got one that it's got a setting on it to flash SOS and Morse code.
Ooh.
Yeah. Looks like a Star Wars lightsaber hilt that somebody left in the dryer for too long and it shrunk. as much trouble as I had showing that pen, I'm not putting it in front of the camera because it'd just be a flash of chrome, and that's about all anybody would be able to see. Well, it's also magnetized on one end. You can stick it to any magnetic metal, pointing outwards. And another little thing, the on-off button on the hilt turns red and lights up when the batteries are starting to get low.
Ooh.
Useful. Yeah, it tells
Yeah.
you, hey, change batteries.
Oh, that felt good.
Yeah.
So I know Trey was talking earlier today during the thesis show. We'd gone to a Mardi Gras buffet,
Mm-hmm.
and it's one that Tap House puts on every year, and it's $19. It went up $1 this year, which was still worth it.
Yeah.
But it was $19. He had jambalaya, gumbo, shrimp and crawfish etouffee, and red beans and rice as an all-you-can-eat buffet. I got my $20 worth. I am going to be miserable at some point tonight, but by God, I got my $20 worth.
Yeah. Let's hope it's not before the show ends.
Yeah, no, it won't be. I'll wake up about 3 a.m. with massive heartburn and be thinking about my choices in my life at that point. But
They were good choices. It's been a good life.
Mm.
Do it all over again in a heartbeat.
I'll do it all over again on Wednesday because they do it. They had the buffet today. They're going to have the buffet again Tuesday. And normally there's leftovers, which means on Wednesday I'll be able to walk in and order a bowl of etouffee for about $12 and be a very, very happy man.
Well, Lindsay made a pork stir fry today.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Yes, with egg drop soup on the side.
Oh.
Oh, keep talking dirty.
Yeah. I had as much of it as I could hold, which, recovering from whatever it was that got passed around the county here is a really nasty little bug. I couldn't eat an awful lot, but I put a sizable dent in it, and we've got leftovers. So the only trouble is we get one of those little base shaped bottles of soy sauce,
Mm-hmm.
and it does not pour rapidly. You got to stand there and shake it like you really want to be friends with it. But that's one I brought home from work. She's had it in the fridge, and nothing wrong with it. It's already fermented. I mean, it's not like it's going to go bad.
No.
Well, I have been rolling designs in my head over and over again. It's like a 3D CAD program, my imagination, I can see how things fit together, and I can turn it and twist it and change the dimensions and everything else until I can make it fit. But until I get out there with the tape measure and actually start cutting and piecing things together, I do not know exactly how it's going to turn out. But I intend to have a little cabinet above the charcoal grill, and I salvaged the light and exhaust fan from over our old stove, and I'm just going to put that on there so that I got a light over the barbecue grill and vent the smoke out a little bit.
That works.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm glad I didn't paint the underside of the tin. Well, I didn't paint the top side of the tin either, but or actually metal roofing. I've got the wavy. Um, I don't know if it's steel or if it's galvanized. I just don't know. It's still shiny, but it won't be for long now that it's out in the weather. So yeah, I got a lot of things to accomplish out there, and the work will go faster when the weather is reliably warm, or oh my God, it's hot all the time. And this being Georgia, that's not too far away. I mean, from all the advanced weather reports I've heard, March is going to be really variable. It's either going to be heavy rain and high winds, or it's going to be decent. We just don't know yet. We were looking for rain to come in Wednesday, and it was already windy today. I was glad I wasn't trying to put that last piece of tin up today. This is no weather to be out with a piece of sheet metal standing on the ladder up above the windbreak in the back.
Yeah. That'd be ill-advised.
No. I heard a story once about a fellow who was helping roof a house or a barn, probably a barn. He had a big sheet of sheet metal in his hands up on the roof. The wind got a little bit stronger. He wound up parachuting down to the ground, and that was his last day at that job. He didn't get hurt, but he said once is enough. And Thesis, you got a message.
Hey, kitten.
Ah.
Well, she might have been talking about you. Who knows?
Oh, I doubt that.
Sure the hell no, she wasn't talking about me.
Oh. No, there's a select few women that think I'm handsome. I'm not going to name names because we know them all.
Yeah.
I do say I was tempted to look up the price of a Utilikilt or something similar, and then
There you go.
my common sense gene kicked in. I go, no. Cast iron oven stove does not equal something you want to be wearing a kilt around in a building that has only has no walls whatsoever. Just a couple of closets. Might increase my viewership that way if I don't get canceled.
Gotta make sure you wear that in the proper form.
Mm-hmm.
Well, would be most comfortable that way, actually. Commando was the way that I wore the little denim cutoffs I was talking about the other night. I would be out on a tractor in the middle of a field, baseball cap, denim cutoffs, and that's it. Had to position them carefully, though.
Yeah.
Tractor seats are not the most comfortable things.
No.
Especially if you're driving something that has no shock absorbers whatsoever and you're going across a bumpy field. Although Daddy did opt for the high end tractor seat with its own shock absorbers built in. He said, if I'm going to be riding this thing for 12 hours a day, I'm going to make sure that my back don't hurt and neither does my butt.
Mm-hmm.
Wise man.
So I don't blame him.
One of the tractors had a roll bar with an awning on it where you actually didn't need the baseball cap, but you were in the shade unless you turned into the sun. And it also had a turbocharger. When you had the chisel plow all the way into the ground, and you had to plow up some ground that hadn't been plowed since World War II, you just throw that thing down, and it would jump the horsepower up to about, I think it was like 92 horsepower on a tractor. That ain't bad.
That ain't bad at all.
You had to slow down a little bit and not use the turbo on when you're running the disc harrow across the ground, because it may sit just as deep into the ground, but it's got 20 or 30 little cast iron discs on it, and they roll, so not much to get in the way. That's just for dusting up dirt clods and uncovering rocks you got to tote out of the damn field. Oh, I have toted so many rocks in my life. I probably could have built a damn castle out of them.
Oh. So how late did the green room end up staying open last night?
I don't know. There were still 2 people left when I called it a night. I think it was before midnight, my time. Not. See, I think Carl and Donna left early, and everybody else dropped out one by one, and there was Zach left, and my memory fails as to who the other one was, or maybe it was Donna. I'm not sure. I've slipped since then, although I haven't had any liquor, which I really should have got myself some tonight. Nothing wrong with my stomach. Nothing up my sleeve. Presto! Yes, I used to watch Bullwinkle a lot. Yeah.
Hey there, Rocky.
Watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat. Got to get a new hat. Oh, yeah. All kinds of cartoons were my bread and butter back then. Uh, wasn't much else to do, and I did not have control of the TV set. And even with the rotary antenna, there were less than 15 channels to watch, and some of them you could only hear because the screen was nothing but snow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
However, I was
Yes, the good
allowed to
old
stay up.
days.
Yeah, I was allowed to stay up late and watch Johnny Carson, which I really. And on Friday nights, after that, it'd be Midnight Special, which, you get to hear a lot of good music that
Mhm.
was fairly new, and some of it you might not ever heard on the radio yet.
Just makes me think of when me and Foxy were first getting together, and she would come over and stay with me in my room at my parents' house until like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And on VH1, usually starting around 2 a.m., they would have this thing called Insomniac Music Theater.
Mm.
And it would be from like 2 a.m. until like 7, would just be solid music videos. And we just sit and watch music videos for like hours until the
Nothing,
sun came up.
nothing wrong with that.
Especially since it was like one of the very few channels that still showed music videos. It was not MTV that wasn't MTV. It was all reality
Yeah.
garbage.
Yeah, reality TV and wrestling.
Oh, it would. That's been a recent thing, honestly.
Well, yeah, you're right. I don't remember the wrestling on MTV.
No,
No, it was the Sci-Fi Channel that said,
yep.
"Hey, this Doctor Who stuff is not making us any money. We'll show wrestling instead."
And now
And they
it's
did.
on Netflix, which I think is an improvement because they can get away with more stuff on Netflix than they can on
Oh,
regular.
yes, I know. I know.
Oh yeah.
I remember staying up and watching Headbangers Ball in the early 90s on MTV when they actually still showed music videos.
Yeah. Um, I was just a little bit jealous of the fellow that taught me to play bass guitar so he could have a rhythm guitarist to back up his guitars and got me into running a recording studio. He actually had cable. I did not.
Yeah.
Um, that was an expense I couldn't justify in the budget.
Oh, yeah.
But matter of fact, it wasn't until uh, the Five Doctors, which was an anniversary special,
Mhm.
that I ever bought a TV and a VCR and had cable TV hooked up. Now, I had seen cable TV before.
Oh, yeah, of
Um,
course.
Mom and Dad had it in both houses we lived in Athens. Um, when we moved out to Madison County here, where I'm at now, had to put up an antenna because no cable had been run out here, and nobody's gonna run half a mile of cable from the road where they would put it in the ditch to the house because that's how long Mom's driveway is. Uh, and we would have tore that cable up anyway, trying to plow a field for wheat or corn or soybeans or something.
Mhm.
When you no longer know where it is, and you want to use every scrap of land you've got in order to make a living, that would be kind of counterproductive. Of course, now everybody's got satellite dishes or just goes through streaming.
Mm-hmm. See, when we first moved into this apartment, they had a deal going with the local cable company where you could get, because all of the apartments were already wired up for cable. They did it when they built the buildings.
Just set up an account and have it turned on.
Oh, you had to. The apartment complex was already paying a flat rate for all of the apartments that had cable. So you just had to pay the office and they'd come and turn yours on. And it was like $20.
Mm-hmm.
So we did it. We had cable for a while. And then the complex just decided we're not paying for it anymore because not enough people.
Oh, I think he froze.
Oh, I know he froze.
Yeah, that was the bad thing with some of the apartment complexes is, you'd pay them, and then all of a sudden they'd be like, yeah, it's not worth it for us.
We're not charging y'all enough to be able to afford this. And if we charge you more, you'll all move out.
Oh,
there you go.
There he
He's
is.
back.
Yeah. Yeah, they just shut it off. They're just like, we know. Actually, what happened is they sent out a notice that they were going to shut it off because the cable company had signed a new contract for a different amount, and the complex decided they weren't going to pay it. And they sent out a notice telling everyone, okay, your cable is going to be shut off on this date. And
there he goes again.
He got some nasty weather rolling in out there.
I'll say he must.
Well, yeah. Mm.
The only other person I see have that kind of trouble, at random is Nick. I don't know how random it really is with him anymore. I think that's just his service provider at this point.
Yeah.
Nick, that is.
Shitheads. But they sent out a notice, and then they were like, okay, well, never mind. And then they just shut it off without any notice at all, like 2 months later.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Well, what can you do? Unless the apartment complex had made a deal to where individuals could sign a deal with the cable company and use.
Oh, you can. But see, the thing is, there was a relatively small company that was running the cable at the time, and then it got bought out by the big company. We actually had cable internet because it was going through the same cable lines, and it's just easier to have cable internet along with your regular cable. And then it got bought out by the big company. The big company's like, hey, that cable internet that you're getting really, really good service and it's really, really fast and awesome for you? Well, we're not doing that anymore.
That sounds about right.
The old company might have done it, but we're not going to do it.
They bought out the company just so they could stop the service because people were getting really good service for cheaper than the big high-priced assholes that were basically a monopoly in this area.
Yeah.
Well, it was the monopolies that led us to stop our satellite service entirely.
Mm-hmm.
I had one package that let me have every PBS station in the United States. They were only $1 each. I just had them added individually to my service, and the top 200 channels or something like that. Of course, I only watched about 5. The rest of them, well, I'm sorry, my wife may be able to, but I certainly can't speak Spanish
Yeah.
yet. I might try and learn one of these days.
It's really not a terribly difficult language to learn as long as you can as long as you have someone to talk to.
Yeah.
Just learning from, apps and shit like that, it's not gonna. You need conversation.
Yeah. Well, and my wife usually is watching English football
Yeah.
on a Spanish-speaking sports station.
Oh, there you go.
I walk in there and I'm going, wait a minute, this is making sense.
Yeah.
But no, Lindsay's she can speak Spanish. She can speak Spanglish because of her time out in New Mexico. She can speak French, and her English is, well, she's British, so her English is pretty good.
So I must have invoked the Nick Field.
Oh, really? The camera went wonky?
Yeah, StreamYard just suddenly popped up saying browser's lost connection to your camera. It's like, oh, okay.
I had mine do that. Turns out it was one of the cats using a USB splitter as a cat toy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it was all he could do was bat it back and forth, so it would swing back and forth. But it loosened up the cables. Once I figured it out, easy fix. But took me a little while to figure out where the problem actually lay. Oh, I found out this weather station, I can't use the stand on it. Not unless I put the stand back on and clean off a certain area of my desk where I'm looking down at it instead of looking straight at it or looking up. Because it's polarized in such a way. If you don't have it just exactly positioned correctly, it goes fairly dark. It's not a very well illuminated screen, and I've got it plugged into an outlet, so it should be, but it's just I've noticed messing around with it and getting everything set and calibrating it that if I turn it just a little bit, it's too dark for me to see. Now, I could probably put it up here in front of one of the stereo speakers where the light shines the brightest and not have to worry about its own internal lighting. But then again, I didn't try that yet, so I don't know if that would be a viable alternative or not. I'm just going to gradually clean some of the things away from where I'd have to sit it on my desk and set it down there and see what kind of an angle it works on. And then if it does work, I can put the stand back on. It's relatively simple to do. And I'll be able to see it just fine. It's one of those things. I bought this one because the old one that I had is just black and white. And we got a fancy one in the kitchen that's full color and has all kinds of extra readings on it and does all this and does all that. And I got one just like it, same company and everything. And then I don't know why, but I bought a weather station with anemometer and wind direction and rain gauge and all this other stuff. The same night, they both arrived in the same box. Two different companies, but it was the big A, so it got shipped together. Everything's fine. I haven't even put the batteries in the thing because it said this is going to be outside. You need lithium batteries so they can stand up to cold weather.
Yeah.
Because I don't think this is going to get to be Arizona or Death Valley temperatures here in Georgia.
Yeah.
If it does, I won't be here anymore. Yeah. And we rarely have minus 40 degrees, but we certainly don't have plus 150.
Yeah.
It may feel like it with the 90% humidity we've got most of the time, but no.
It may feel like it, but it's really not.
Yeah. That's the perceived temperature. I'm glad to see the barometric pressure is going up, although that's it's going so gradually. It's going to drop swiftly once that storm system that's giving people trouble in Texas and the states in between here, because that's where the severe weather is really hanging around right now, and there's chances of tornadoes down in through there starting Tuesday, and parts of it might reach us here, but greatly diminished by Wednesday. So we'll see. It's interesting information anyway,
Yeah.
or interesting to me. It's not life changing. It's just I like stuff that works, and if it works really, really well, I'm even better pleased. Nothing wrong with the audio.
Yeah, I had a meeting that I had to attend this morning, and we got a little lake effect band that apparently decided to come through overnight last night.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize just how little it was. Because I woke up to the wind, actually. And I looked outside as the wind hit, and I just see all the snow blown outside my window. I'm like, oh, crap. All right, I'll get up early, go, get dressed, head out, and just get this taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
Which I really don't want to. So I go out, and roads look kind of meh, and I'm driving along, and next thing I know, there is a fleck of snow on the ground.
Nope.
Like, awesome. I left,
A nice warm bed for this.
well, I left an hour early because with it being a little clipper system like that, I know NDOT didn't have a chance to properly respond to it, which meant the towns didn't have a chance to properly respond to it. And it was just kind of one of those things of, well, I'll leave early. That way I'm not one of those people that, goes, oh, I can make it on time, and you end up 3 hours late because you're stuck in traffic.
Mm-hmm. I'm definitely going to have to move some wires around. That cord's not going to reach. Oh, well. It's not like I could do this stuff during the show without causing alarming noises in the background of stuff falling over. I believe I got a lamp that I can safely remove. I used it back before they gave us this automatic green screen.
Mm-hmm.
And really don't need it anymore. So I can take the aluminum cone off of it and the blue filter off of it, because with the lights without the blue filter, I look all washed out on the camera. That's why I don't use the ring light on my camera. It's like, get that out of my face. Oh, so much to do and no place to hide.
So much to do and not nearly enough hours in the day to try and do it all.
Nope.
That's always been my favorite excuse.
If I could just figure out how to cram about 30 hours into a day.
That's not quite legal.
Yeah. Tomato, potato. That's fine.
You could try going to the truck stop and talking to some of the drivers.
Nah, I know some of those drivers. I wouldn't trust their opinion.
Opinions is not what you'd be seeking.
Wouldn't trust some of their knowledge either.
Mm-hmm. It's like having an argument with someone that it was literally impossible to drive 30 hours in a day. I actually had this argument with a person that they could drive for 30 straight hours in one day. And when I explained to them that there's only 24 hours in a day, meaning you could only drive for 24 hours, they said, well, what if I just drove really fast?
I don't think time dilation works like that. And believe me,
No,
I write time travel stories.
You're still 24 hours in a day.
Well, there's always the excuse that I used at the factory. It's not tomorrow until I wake up.
Yeah.
So technically, yes, you could drive 30 hours, but it wouldn't be in the same day unless your definitions are very flexible.
Very, very flexible.
Yeah.
Oh, and here you go.
Yeah. I don't need any more pressure. Thank you, love.
Now, you've already got a Bandcamp account?
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I will. Well, I assume it's Bladed Thesis.
But let me check. Let me make sure, because I already had one as not an artist, so I want to make sure that it's not that one. There's nothing on there yet because I haven't actually finished the song. Well, like I said earlier, I finished it, I thought, and then I played it for her and she didn't like it. So I'm like, all right, well, it's your song, so
gotta fix that.
Mm-hmm.
What the?
I've also been playing with that online sequencer. So I might actually have 2 songs up by the time I'm done.
Nice. All right. Well, I will be back, folks. I'm gonna see if I leave and come back in if it's gonna play nice with my camera.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be eagerly awaiting. Damn, I wasn't expecting anybody to be here tonight. I thought I'd have to just monologue for, drag it out for half an hour and then go, good night.
Mm-hmm.
We've already gone almost an hour.
Yep. Yes, we have.
It worked.
Hey.
Give my creation life. Oh. There we go.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go ahead and flash that up here. Yep. Now I know which way it's spelled.
Yep.
And I'm familiar with the way Bandcamp does their page names. So
Yeah.
should be interesting.
That's
Yeah,
one
that
word.
online sequencer sounded fun. Of course, I've got sequencers at the wazoo with the music program, but
it is.
And hello. Good to see
Daniel.
you again.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. That's the one I've been using.
Okay. I can't save stuff from here.
Yeah.
But since you're in the show, you ought to be able to put it in the private chat.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, even without ops here, you should be able to, once you're on screen, you should be able to access the private chat. Yes, you can.
Oh, nice. Wow. I've never done that before. All right, cool.
Oh, got some updates to do for Indie CD on Monday. Grant sent me a whole bunch to update, and then once you get your song out, I'll have to update yours.
Yeah. I'm hoping to get it up by the end of the weekend, but we'll see. Because all I really have to do is record the one chorus section and then put it all together and then play it for her to see if she approves it before I put it up. So that might be the part that might take a little bit.
Well, doing music is a lot like writing prose. The editing is always the part that makes you want to rip your hair out.
Oh, yeah. Especially when the program that you're writing on suddenly decides it doesn't want to friggin' work and you haven't been able to get anything done today.
Oh, I've already got it bookmarked. This online sequencer.
Yeah, I shared it in one of the evening shows. I don't remember which one.
Yeah, because I remember that coming up before.
Yeah. I think it was last week.
I thought it looked very interesting, so I went ahead and bookmarked it.
Well, it's the only one that I've ever found that has a sitar and the gudin on it under your guitar section in instruments. I've never seen that in any kind of like music program.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh wow.
That's if Music Maker has it, it's one that I have not seen yet. But then again, I could probably do a special search and see if they've done anything with
Probably.
Chinese instruments or Asian instruments or Indian instruments.
Well, you did do that one song for me that I put up on my channel with my Armory video last year.
Oh, that's true. I do have some obscure stringed instruments.
Yep.
And I've already bought those, so
which I remember because it came up on my Facebook memories a week or so ago that I put that video up a year ago already.
Mm-hmm.
That was like, wow, that's been a year already. Damn.
Yeah, I probably got enough stuff to throw together half of the next album, especially if I can put up with low quality stuff from SoundCloud that I'd have to reconvert because the files on those are so old, the program I've got right now won't play them.
Yeah.
Seems like just about every time you buy a new version of the music program, it won't access the old ones whatsoever. Well, no, not a new version of the music program. Whenever the almighty W puts out a new version of the operating system, the music program won't access the old stuff anymore. I wonder if I ever put any of the old copies of a Music Maker on any of the computers that still run XP. Oh, Kitty wants to know how much is it going to set her back?
Oh, please! I would put it up for free if I could.
I don't think they'll let you do that, but you can get away with as low as 50 cents.
I'll probably do that $1, just because I don't really think it's worth all that much.
I don't remember. Joe, do you have any recollection of what individual songs cost on my Bandcamp? I mean, I know I have to price the ones for Stephanie up higher because I had to pay her royalties.
50 cents a piece.
That's pretty much the way I've got it set up. And then I count how many are on the album and set the price low enough to where it's cheaper to buy the whole album than it is to buy every song on it individually. That just seems moral to me. I know that marketing people would be very mad at me. Nick might approve. Might. Then again, he might bust my chops for underpricing my wares. I don't know. I had to do what feels right for me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll probably do like $1 just because it's a nice round number. But even that, I'm just like, I don't think it's worth that much. But we already know that I severely undervalue every single thing that I put out. So
you're going to have to throw that attitude into the toilet and flush it several times. Because it will want to clog the toilet, believe me. Stand by with the detached Dalek hand. Well, I'm going to have to go down the hallway.
Alrighty.
I will see y'all momentarily if my wife does not want to have consequence when I'm or conversation when I'm halfway down the hall, and that would be a consequence right there.
Yeah, it would be.
Well, there's been times I've just looked at the wife and went, "Nope, hold that thought."
Hang on, I'll get back to you in a second.
Yep. There are more pressing matters currently happening.
Uh-huh.
Oh. Oh, that's what I was going to look up. I need to find. I know I have Audacity on this machine. I know I have Audacity on this machine. Where is it at? There it is.
Yeah, I got it.
Well, the bad thing is because I use OneDrive across multiple machines, including my work machine. I have the desktop icons from pretty much every machine on this
Yeah,
one.
I've seen your desktop. Holy hell, dude. My
That's
God,
nothing.
man.
Oh, no, you want to know a bad one. Oh. There was a guy I worked with at INDOT, and great guy, God love him. Wish I knew how he was doing since he had retired, but
yeah.
I went. He called me over to his computer one day because he was actually my. So I was considered a security coordinator, which basically meant that I was the one that people had to go through to get accounts set up and certain things. He was my backup coordinator.
Oh, okay.
Which when the IT guy before me got fired by being escorted out in handcuffs.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, by ISP. He took over the role of IT manager, which he knew just enough about IT to be dangerous, but he knew his limits, and he knew that when there was something over his head, he knew who to call downstate that would have access to, do whatever needed to be done. But he called me over one day. He was having issues with something. I don't remember what. I'm like, okay, well, let me take a look. And I minimized the screen. And I swear to God, it was icons all the way across. And the last row was cut off.
Oh, my God.
You could only see half the icon. And it wasn't like it wasn't like it was all the programs he had on there, because state computers, not like we had a crap ton of programs. And it wasn't like it was oh, this is a folder dating back to 1986. No, these were each individual files of Word documents, Excel documents. I looked at that and went, Jim, how in the hell can you find anything? He goes, ask me for something. Well, where's the report for this? He grabbed the mouse, went right to it. I'm like, huh?
Yeah, hey, man. Organized chaos.
When you're the one working on your own organizational system for your files, you tend to remember where you put shit.
Right?
Well,
sometimes.
Sorry I was gone so long. Conversation did ensue.
That wasn't that long.
And then Grandma Cat, well, nope, Mama Cat now, I keep skipping the previous generation, decided she wanted to come in here while I was trying to scoot in through the door so the dog wouldn't get in. And she wanted a midnight snack. And she's done her usual, I'll eat 3 bites and then go lay on the bed and yowl like a mountain lion until somebody else comes to bed to keep me company. The dog has already tried to put Lindsay to bed twice tonight. Lindsay's going, I'm watching a show. You're not the boss of me. I could hear it through the door. That was while I was sitting here before anybody else came in the studio. So, yep. Well, Hillary, are you finished, or are you going to sit here and bask in front of the heater? I can turn it up for you. You feel like you just came in from outside. You're not exactly warm, Cat.
Well, no, I wanted to make sure that I had Audacity on here still, and that I still had the project file saved of the 3D printing
Yeah.
MP3, which I'm going to go back through and re-record a bunch of stuff. I'm probably going to re-record the little things in between.
They're kind of quiet, so yeah.
Yeah, well, I was playing with it. I can actually just bump up that because I got those on a separate track level.
Yeah, you have
than the actual songs.
Mm-hmm.
So I could just technically bump that one up, but I think I'm just going to re-record them all because it sounds really tinny, and I think it was the headset I had at the time.
It does.
Hey, Rob.
I don't know if it'll be any better with this headset, but because it could also be the fact that I'm, basically 4 feet from the corner of my house sitting down here. I'm kind of speaking into a corner.
Oh.
A natural sound reflector.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be too.
Yep.
Now, believe it or not, one of my high school friends became a major studio sound engineer. And we bumped into one another while we were in college. And I was admiring how different speakers sounded better than others. He's going, no, it's all down to the internal design. And he showed me a design for a speaker that actually had a built-in, wouldn't call it an amplifier because it's entire, there's no power to it at all. It's just in the shape of the baffles inside the speaker cabinet. But it's more like, imagine if you were playing guitar and your amp actually had a big opening at the bottom and it had like a speaker horn built into the inside of the cabinet going from right behind the magnet, reflecting off the back wall of the speaker cabinet and out into the room.
Okay.
I figured out all kinds of speaker designs from that.
I bet, yeah.
I built one for my bass guitar, and it worked really well. Of course, it worked really well. It had two 15-inch 100-watt speakers in it, and the amplifier had another 15-inch 100-watt speaker in it, and it was the same brand of stuff that the Who used to use back in the day. Sun Beta Bass 300 watt. God, I had fun with that. I think I finally had to, when there was a danger of my first wife selling off all my musical equipment, I made sure that some of them went into a safe storage that she didn't know about. And I think that that speaker cabinet, eventually the speakers died and I couldn't replace them because there was no Radio Shack anymore. So I repurposed it into either a bookcase or a toy box for one of the kids. Not sure what I did anymore. It's been a long time since, when was that? Well, got started doing that when MTV still was showing music videos. So that's how long it's been.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. All right. Yeah. I realized it was Blazing Saddles reference or a misquote, but yeah. The only white beard you got tonight is me. Carl's gone to bed. Aunt Donna had a backache.
Mine's mostly white except for right here.
Hey, salt and pepper counts too. Of course, Thesis is rocking the Machiavelli look.
I got a couple of grays in there. You just can't see them. They're kind of drowned out by most of the black.
Well, it'll come with seniority.
Mm-hmm.
It's rather unavoidable.
Oh, I know.
I didn't have any gray hairs until I took that IT spot at NDOT.
That'd do
within 3 months, they started popping in.
Thesis just comes in with his youngness. Hey, he got smarts too.
Here's the kicker, Rob. I'm younger than Thesis. I'm pretty sure I am.
Yeah, you are.
It ain't the years, kid. It's the mileage.
Yeah.
I'm actually 22.
Oh, shit.
No.
It ain't the years, it's the mileage, and I keep putting that damn piece of electrical tape back over the check engine light, but the fucker keeps falling back off.
Just ignore that. It's fine.
Let's see. I think I'll be 68 in November. It was so dark. There were so many.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh. And don't let anybody fool you. Age does not beget wisdom. If you're not real careful, age begets child support payments. Something I hope you gentlemen can avoid.
Let's put it this way. The song that was #1 on the Billboard charts the day after I was born was Another One Bites the Dust.
Yep. I remember that day.
My mom always said when she passed away, at her funeral, she wanted 2 songs played. Another One Bites the Dust, and Only the Good Die Young, because she figured the second one would say something about her either way.
What's really, really funny, and I didn't even realize this until after the fact, is when I was a senior in high school, they let the senior class vote on what our senior theme song should be.
Mm-hmm.
And I was being a little shit because so many of the girls in our graduating class dropped out because they got pregnant that I suggested Another One Bites the Dust. Which everyone said, that's just mean. I'm like, well, they're not going to be there to find out. They're no longer here.
Oh, being the tech geek of our class, which, out of 21 kids, one of us had to be nominated as that. I was the one in charge of the senior slideshow for graduation. And I went through, we picked out 3 songs. One of which I think is called Time of Your Life.
Oh,
Yeah.
And because it starts off with the dun 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 dun, and then it goes into the song.
Yeah.
Well, he also says something before the next bit of song starts. Dun 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 dun. Fuck it. Dun 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 dun. And that's So I went through and I found this free piece of audio software that lets you perform 150 actions before you had to save, close it out, and reopen the file. So I'm cutting out like all the dead air in between the tracks and had it down to where, and of course, Microsoft, what the hell is the name of the slideshow software?
PowerPoint?
PowerPoint,
No,
thank you. Yeah, PowerPoint. All I could think of was Microsoft Project. I'm like, that's not right. I couldn't get it. Oh.
Go ahead.
My favorite BGs.
And I had to look up mine as well.
And it was?
Jailhouse Rock by Elvis Presley.
Oh,
nice.
All right, yeah. Queen, the Bee Gees, Elvis. Okay, now it's your turn, Joe.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. But anyway, I was going through and I'd gotten it down, and the whole point of the story is I didn't hear what he was saying after the second dun 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 until my buddy and I finally went into the gymnasium, and we were trying to time it to where, I'd tell him to hit the play button, I'd count so many seconds, and then hit start on the slideshow. And we're playing it, and it, finally we get it to where like the slideshow started right as the music did, and throughout this empty auditorium, you hear dun 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 dun. Fuck it, and that just echoes.
I had to redo that slideshow, didn't you?
Nope, I left it.
Leave it.
I didn't have time. I did not have time to go through and figure out, where that was to get it out of there, and then add a little bit of dead space back in somewhere to keep it the same length. So all my classmates showed up. We started getting the gymnasium set up. And I asked them, I said, do you guys want to see the slideshow and hear the songs? They're like, yeah, sure. So we're all sitting there, and I look at my buddy Scott. I'm like, okay, hit it. Count to 3. I hit start. Dun, 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 dun. Fuck it. And I hear a bunch of my classmates go, what? Like, yep, that's in there and that's staying, boys and girls, because I don't have time to fix it at this point. You think anybody's going to notice? Don't really care. By the time they play that, I already have my diploma in my hand.
Yeah. See, I have a similar story.
There we go. Oh,
nice.
That's one of Richie's cards.
Oh, there you go. I took an AV class in high school all 3 years. And every year we had a end of the year project thing. And senior year, the school decided that the leaving seniors are going to make a welcome video for all the new incoming sophomores, talking about all the sports teams and clubs and all this crap that you can join. And it was going to be shown to all incoming students. And so the teacher kind of broke us up into teams, and you guys will do the clubs and you guys will do the sports and you will do this. And she got me and two of my friends to do the beginning part, the actual welcome. So we're like, all right, what are we going to do? So we decided to go down and grab one of the AV carts that used to have the TVs on them that they would wheel into the classes to do like movies and stuff like that. And we put the giant 1990s camcorder on the AV cart, went out into the parking lot, and then the three of us pushed it through the parking lot, up the front doors, and down the hallway. And we were just going to do that as like a beginning part of the video so that you could see coming up into the school. Mm-hmm. And we're like, all right, we can do that. We did do that, but what are we going to do for like sound? Because all you hear is the cart rolling across the asphalt, and that was really kind of an annoying sound.
Yeah,
we got to put some sound in there somehow. And again, me being shit, just like with Another One Bites the Dust, I took some music that was like, not going to get us in trouble. And I kind of put in the background quietly the Ian Malcolm quote from Jurassic Park of, "That's one big pile of shit." So it was backmasked to the music, and I put that at the point just as the cart is rolling up to the front of the school. So you see the school coming up, and you can just barely get, "That's one big pile of shit." And we got everything filmed, everything put to one file, showed it to the principal. The principal goes, "So what group was responsible for the beginning part?" And me and my two buddies were like, that was us. And he goes, "Funny, but no. You're going to have to redo that." I'm like, damn. You were supposed
We'll
to
mix
see
it
that
quieter.
after we were gone.
Oh.
It could have been worse. Could have been playing Highway to Hell.
Yeah, there you go.
So number one
War
song
Pigs. I vote for War Pigs.
There you go, yeah.
Number one song for June 28th of 1986. "On My Own" by Patti LaBelle and Michael McDonald.
One of these things is slightly different than the others. Elvis,
I think I remember the original version. Wasn't by Patti LaBelle though.
No, the other funny thing about our senior slideshow, we had pictures in there from senior skip day.
Yeah.
Which involved one of those slip and slides and a lot of beer. And no one realized at first that the pictures that we took during senior skip day, you could see the empties laying in the grass.
Oh shit. Oh.
I noticed it when I was putting everything together and went, well, my Photoshop abilities are exactly... My Photoshop abilities now, on March 1st, 2025, are the exact same as they were back in late May of 2004.
Yeah?
Non-existent.
Oh my
Pulled up
God.
the picture, hit the color selector, chose a blade of grass, and started drawing little rectangles in the same color as the grass over all the cans of beer. And somebody's like, "Oh, they're going to notice that." No, they won't. Not a single parent questioned it. Mainly because most of the parents were from La Crosse, had graduated from La Crosse, and probably had pictures, from back in the 70s and 80s of the same thing.
Mhm.
Just,
They didn't have Photoshop.
right.
Nope.
They didn't have Microsoft Paint, and somebody who just went, "Well, this is going to have to work."
Good enough. It's all right.
Copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste.
Now, see what I would have done is I would have gone on, like, I don't know, image search or something, or even like scanned a picture of like a Coke can and just like covered him up.
That actually might have worked. That might have worked. Y'all made me remember a photograph from one of the annuals, one of the yearbooks that I worked on in high school. We had 4 guys as photographers for the yearbooks. 2 of them are real artsy. One of them was just kind of hyper focused on capturing the moment. And I was one that they drafted to go, "Hey, you cover for us. We're going to skip the rest of the day of school. You go take pictures of this boring stuff." So I had a few pictures in the yearbooks, and one of mine was not the one I'm about to tell you about right now. The guy that was into preserving the moment snapped a photograph during a prom. No, not a prom. It was halftime homecoming show.
Mhm.
There were 4 guys. We all knew who they were. They all came from very, very wealthy families in the county, which does not mean a lot because everybody else was dirt poor and they were just barely upper middle class. And it wasn't until we were sending the yearbook layout to print that the teacher assigned as our advisor for the yearbook noticed, "Hey, that guy's," how can I put this politely, "adjusting his underwear." That was a quote. She said, "How can I put this politely?" He was adjusting his underwear, and we all went and said, "Well, yeah, he does that all the time. It's normal for him. That's his personality. He's the guy that's always playing with his underwear." At least he wasn't reaching inside his pants to do it.
See, that's why there were very, very few pictures my senior year of the prom, because there was some we'll just go back to last night and be like, there was some grandma-ing on the dance floor of the senior prom that you could very clearly see on the pictures, where basically the whatever group is responsible for the yearbook club was like, "We can't use any of these pictures. Nothing is safe. So we're just going to have to pick out the ones that are safe for work and go with that."
Well, the guys on the photography staff for the yearbooks, they could, and often did, work some darkroom magic with blurring out background stuff,
Yeah.
or just creative cropping of photographs.
Well, yeah. See, the problem with that is this was not background. This was foreground.
Oh, well.
This was dead set. And I only know this because one of my friends was on the yearbook committee, and he, not to put too fine of a point on it, basically took the pictures because they were just going to toss them anyway. He took them and like showed them to our group of friends. And he's like, you guys got to see this, man. Like, we're going to send these to Penthouse, bro.
Keep the negatives. Don't let them have the negatives.
Yeah, no, those were probably very quickly destroyed after that.
Oh, no. There was a junior senior prom that one of the guys that I hung out with, because he's one of the few that didn't think I was a complete nerd for doing the homework and reading the textbooks and ruining the grading curve. Of course, he was a couple of years younger than I am. He was making out with his girlfriend. They had not done anything other than kissing. And the cops came in and drug him off. And after the prom, me and the people that had given him a ride had to wait and go post bail for him.
Oof.
And the judge said, you're either going to get some time in the county jail, or you need to join the military, whichever branch you choose. I think he went into the Navy. Unfortunate, but true. I mean, well, in his defense, much alcohol had been consumed because he wasn't driving. And then I wound up driving around somebody else's car with the guy that owned the car and his girlfriend in the back seat. And I do believe Grandma caught fire 2 or 3 times while I was driving around waiting on time to go bail out my friend. There was another girl in the front seat with me, and I'm going, don't look in the rearview mirror. Just don't pay any attention to any noises. It's just pretend it's you and me, and we're just cruising around enjoying the night. This wasn't a girl I was dating. It wasn't a girl that I ever had any involvement with whatsoever. And I do believe she was kind of gratified that the geeky nerd from school didn't make a pass at her. But, I mean, from the sounds of what was going on in the back seat, it's a wonder somebody wasn't
conceived,
owing future child support payments.
I have been on that end of things multiple times because I was always the one in long-term committed relationships compared to my gigolo friends, and they'd be like, hey, come drive me and my girlfriend around. Girlfriend, you've known her for like 4 seconds. Shut up, dude. And I was also the first one to have a birthday and be old enough to go buy cigarettes and beer. So hey, let's go to the store.
In this county, you didn't have to be old enough. You just go. There was one liquor store.
And that's pretty much what we have, but you can buy beer from grocery stores and shit.
Now, yeah. It was only a few years ago that they allowed grocery stores and convenience stores and whatnot to actually sell beer. And it was only about 2 years ago they allowed us to, after 12:30, go buy beer on Sunday. And it was only about 3 months ago, 4 months ago, they finally gave somebody else a liquor license. But back in the 70s, any kid that was old enough to have a driver's license, they didn't have to show ID or anything. You just pull up to the drive-through in this liquor store and go, yeah, I'd like a 12-pack of Budweiser, please. And they go, show me the money, and then hand half a case of beer out through the window, and you drive on and you hunt for the nearest dirt road, because that's the only place the cops were rarely on. They were always on the paved roads, but they didn't like ruining their car's suspension on the dirt roads. Or maybe they just didn't really care about what the kids got up to, because they got up to even worse when they were teenagers. Rob, you're making me blush. Believe me, no. The reason that the couple let me drive their car all night, besides the fact they wanted to make out in the back seat, was because back then I didn't drink. Matter of fact, I was disliked for the fact that I didn't drink. I was also disliked for the fact that I didn't really like football, besides being on the marching band and had to attend every football game for 5 years for the high school. And, last year at junior high school, you were in the marching band for the high school football games. And Rob, I've got to say, a lot of water has passed under that bridge, and I have learned a thing or two about a thing or two. Believe me, when I got to college, I was able to cut loose because nobody cared that I raised the grading curve in high school. I was exceptional all through elementary school, middle school, high school. When I got to college, I was average. Just another guy. And women were suddenly approachable. So I approached them. Shyly, hesitantly, but, sometimes being shy is a superpower.
It at least gets you in the door. It's kind of a cheat code for allowing the women to be able to put their guard down around you, because you're not hitting on them and being an asshole to them. And yeah,
it got me through a lot of doors. I was invited, and once or twice I was kind of grabbed by the shirt collar and drug through the door. I'm going, is something I've been wanting for a long time about to happen? And didn't, but I learned a lot about the steps leading up to that.
Like I said, I was always the one in serious monogamous long-term relationships. I dated one girl through most of high school, and then had 2 or 3 almost year-long relationships in between. So it was always being surrounded by girls, but never really. I was an unseen quantity by them. because I was taken and I was not going to, despite some very serious attempts in a couple of cases,
Mhm.
not going to cheat on my girlfriends. So most of my exploration has taken place in, we'll say, the last 23 years.
Well, I will say in my defense, there's only been 4, maybe 5 women I've actually actively pursued.
Mm.
And that was even after college.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, being invited to be someone's significant other
Mm-hmm.
feels pretty damn good.
Yes, it does.
As long as it's being invited by someone that you really would love the invite from. I know. And Rob, I walk into a room now like I was Alice Cooper. It's just, I don't know how. I don't have that ego. I don't have that talent. I don't have that anything. It's just, as I've gotten older, there's a huge pile of confidence. No, not lots of makeup and a snake. Nope. It's just calm, cool, collected, and confident as all get out, and very, very polite. I mean, Joe's met me. He can vouch for the color of my character.
This is true.
It's pretty much lawful good with a tinge of uh, chaotic, especially when the statesman comes out to play. Oh, I got to buy another bottle of that stuff before Hallowcon. Oh,
Hey, we weren't too chaotic the first night
it
when
was
we.
it was too cold.
Well, no, the first night was good. It was that last night that was
Yeah.
frigid.
When we were trying to empty the keg,
Yeah.
because we learned our lesson about trying to save beer from when Joe Dog was trying to empty a keg down a sewer grate. It was a valiant effort, but it was wasted.
But well, no, I mean, that first night we only killed off what 2 bottles of whiskey and 2 flavored moonshines.
And those were in the little
Yeah.
quart jars, or no, the half. What was it? Half a quart. They weren't even full quart. But they tasted really good,
Mm-hmm.
and it made the conversations flow.
Pardon me.
Yeah, that was last year at Hallowcon. I was up on the. I don't want to say the stage. The stage was at the other end of the con suite, but I was up with the big name pros.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what kind of mischief Joe Dog had planned, but I did sell a few books. A lot of people came up and talked to me, and that was well worth it, except it left my wife alone in the vendor's suite, which left her at the mercy of several other people in the vendor suite that really enjoyed the sound of their own voice.
Mm.
It's all right. It turned out just fine. I mean, she made more than we spent on the stuff that she had to sell at the convention, recovered the table fee, and made gas money to come home. So it was a very profitable
All right,
weekend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to figure out how to use the Square card reader too.
Yep.
Yeah.
She was not comfortable running stuff through the Square card reader, but she
Yeah.
got the hang of it real quick.
Yeah, it's not too bad once you play around with it a little bit.
Well, we got the little box too, not the plug into the phone.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to take that with me just in case to Hallowcon and LibertyCon, which I think is like 114 days away.
Yeah, that was actually pretty simple to get it up and running for you guys once I figured out Joe Dog's damn password for the Wi-Fi.
Knowing Joe Dog, you should have realized that was a practical joke because he always includes, God only knows, lots of practical jokes and several that were impractical.
Impractical.
Well, bad part was he was clear on the other side of the con when I tracked him down. Said, "Hey, what's the password?" He goes, think it's this." Go all the way back over, try it.
Nope.
Tried it a couple different ways just in case. Nope. Go all the way back. Finally track his ass down again because for being a small man, he moves very quickly during that con. And
he's trying to get out of doing all the work that Chris does.
Track him down again. Joe Dog, that didn't work. Oh, I made it this year.
I would say what it was, but he'll probably change it again.
Probably.
I don't even remember what it was at this point, and I hope he doesn't change it because then that means when you guys show up with it, it should just automatically reconnect.
Mm-hmm.
It should. It is Ask Joe 4-digit it. Or Ask Joe Dog for it. And everybody goes, well, I'm asking, what is it? That was exactly what he wanted everybody to react like. I'm asking. You're right. If you want to be here tomorrow, you better tell me right now.
It's like if I ever own a restaurant, I'm going to make the password buy a drink first.
All right, yeah.
Hey.
They buy their drink. Okay, what's the password? Buy a drink first. Each word is capitalized.
Buy a drink first.
Yeah, explain it after they bought the first drink. Yeah. That was pretty much the principle Joe Dog was operating under. Only he wanted to get a laugh at whoever was asking for the password. Now the hotel Wi-Fi has not changed in. I think I've been to 3 Hallowcons now, but it hasn't changed at all. My laptop automatically connects. My phone automatically connects. My iPad automatically connects. I'm going, good thing I didn't bring the desktop. I think we're out of connections here. And she goes, no, I got it on my phone too. Gentlemen, it is 5 minutes till.
Yep.
Yep, we have managed to stretch it out for 2 hours. But somewhere in the frozen north, Dawn is going to roll over in bed and reach for her sock.
Stretching it out for 2 hours. Who says men of our age don't have stamina?
Exactly. No kidding.
Further deponent saith not.
If it lasts longer than 2 hours, consult your physician. No, if it lasts longer than 2 hours, I'm taking advantage of like an hour and 59 minutes before I call a physician. Thank you very much.
I'm not calling a physician. I'm calling my wife.
There you go. That's why I said take advantage first.
Because a physician would just charge me money to tell me, I'm sorry, your wife is too hot. That's the problem.
So
Don't-
something I was thinking about last night after the story I had told,
Mm-hmm.
I started to think of an old joke that I'd heard years ago. There's an old couple talking. The old lady goes, "What would you do if I started smoking?" The old man goes, "I'd slow down and use more lube."
Dance into the fire. Well, that's the nice thing about being me. I don't even know what I'm going to say next.
The filter between brain and mouth malfunctions every once in a while, and some things come out of my mouth that I realize later and go, "Oh shit! Probably shouldn't have said that." But too late to do
It's
anything
done
now.
now. Oh, well, thank y'all very much for being here. Any last words? Independent Creator Directory, you can find us all three there. We all have individual places you can find us, but they're all listed in the Independent Creator Directory, thanks to Mr. Joe Bachman.
Yep.
I do what I can.
You do what you do very well.
Thank you.
And what you can't do, you try and learn.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
And I will admit the smart remark that just popped into my mind because someone would blush, and it's probably going to be me.
Oh, come on. You still got a minute and 45 seconds. Go for it.
It's not the green room, believe me. I was there just last night. No, matter of fact, I'd hesitate to say this in the green room. I might cause somebody to stop breathing again.
And
Oh, we got Aunt Donna about 5 times last night, and we got Trey at least once.
And poor Aunt Donna, I got her right as she entered the room, too. That was the first time I told the story in the green room last night.
Well, I'm sorry you can't tell it here. I'm not monetized, but I still want to keep my channel.
I wouldn't tell that on anything that could be recorded.
nope.
Oh, well, say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, folks.
Good night.
We will see you all next Thursday on here.
Unless you happen to go to never mind the furthermore in the daytime, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Yes, you're right. My brain is going faster than my mouth can keep up. Thesis is on most of the time every week on Saturdays.
Yep.
And it's early enough to where I can keep from taking a nap and miss the show. That's because I watch boring videos about science and shit on YouTube.
And you can find me on Monday and Wednesday nights on Behind the Code and Indie CD's Creatives at Play.
And with that, I started to say let's go to the party, but I'll say go, good guys.
Good night.
Good night.
Transmission overload. System will shut down. System will shut down. System will shut down. System will shut down.
In the early days of the Korean War, an underage boy ran away from his family's farm in West Virginia to join the Army. He quickly transferred to the Air Corps and became a fighter pilot. Somehow, he became useful to several alphabet agencies, so he was recruited to help them during the Cold War. Eventually, he got tired of being a spy and tried to retire. Fate had other ideas. These are some of the early adventures of Captain Tom Darby of the U.S. Army Air Corps. From before that fateful night, he rode his motorcycle around a curve too fast on a back road in rural Georgia and accidentally began a new life entirely. Hello, I'm Dan Hollifield. I'm the senior editor and publisher of Aphelion Webzine, the world's oldest free creative writing e-zine since 1997. Since then, we have helped over 500 amateur writers learn what they needed to turn pro. www.aphelion-webzine.com and read not only what we've got going on right now, but 28 years worth of our archives of stories. Thank you very much.